Well, some 8 years ago, I joined this church with my entire family. I mean, wife and children. I had 2 daughters then. Along the line, the Lord blessed us with 1 other daughter here in this house. Why I joined this church, this is it. It became necessary that we look for a new church, one that would be a blessing to us. After consultation with other meaningful men of God, they directed that I write an official letter to the authorities of my former church, so I would live without any curse following me or any strings attached. I did that. I left, but we had to stay home for I think a week or 2, praying and deciding which church to visit and to also see which one of them would be best for us. Fortunately for us, we came to Victory Bible Church as our first place. In fact, I came whilst my wife and children were at home. I came and there were some qualities we were looking for in a church that we would love to attend. Interestingly, I found those qualities in Victory Bible Church Love Sanctuary. I went to I told my wife, this is it. I think I found a place for us. But I'm not going the following week so that you can go. And if you confirm what I've told you, we adopt that place as our church. My wife came, visited the church, and when she came home, I asked her, how did you find the place? I would want to say it as she said it and try to act the way she acted. Ed, send a okay, pep. I'm saying, but you know what we are looking forward to in a church? We are looking for a church with a very sound teaching, a church that is very prayerful, a church we feel can impact our lives, make us better than we had come in. And with what I've seen in a day, it tells me that this is the place. So straight up, we adopted the place, and I think the following Sunday, being the 3rd Sunday, the 2 of us came. And one of the things that made it so touching was the fact that we came to church and we were welcomed as first-timers. Right after that, every day they were calling, how are we faring? How do we find, they say, how do we find our church? We hope you are coming. At the point in time, one of those that were checking on me asked me, so how do you find our church? I said, I came for window shopping. And jokingly, he also asked me, so have you found the things that you were looking for in our shop as in the church? I said, you have more than that. As time went on, it was like, hey, you came for window shopping and now you have become maybe an attendant of our shop. I said, praise God. So it has been like that. But back then, I was also working with a man in Tema. And so at a point in time, I would have to excuse myself and then go do my presentation in Tema and come back. I remember I spent some 2 weeks in Tema, which meant absenting myself from church. I came to church and the senior pastor, Reverend Prosper Samuel, Daddy, I love you so very much. He saw me and it's like, I've not been seeing you for some time. And I said, yes, I had to go to Tema because I work with a man there. So, you see, it was easy for me to notice that you had absented yourself from church. Why? Because everybody has his hair here, but you have decided to shave yours and leave it here. You have turned your head upside down. Jokingly, I realized that, yeah, indeed, I have become a figure that anytime I absent myself from church, it was easily going to be noticed. So it became a challenge also unto me that I could not absent myself from church. Fast track, my wife also had her own experiences at church to the extent that she came in, I think, 4 or 5 months pregnant. And along the line, the Lord blessed us with another girl. And Daddy, Reverend Prosper Samuel, will tell us that, yes, you brought forth this child here in this house. She is a real church member. In fact, she's my granddaughter. That is how she was relating. And then she tells my wife, her mother, that is the senior pastor's mother, is Lydia. My wife is Lydia too. And so Daddy calls her my mother. All these things were some things that were really touching. It really made us felt that, yeah, we had been embraced into a fold and that this is where we belong. It has been so good in that we come to the house and, this household, and Daddy has been saying that, yeah, you may come in some way, but give yourself a time, maybe a year or 2. You will look back and you say to yourself that, indeed, maybe I came empty, but I'm now half full, or things are getting better. We have had all these experiences. I am grateful also to the youth of the church, though I came in a grown-up person, not qualified to be with the youth, but we had a football team, and that was where my gelling with members of the church started, because I had wonderful guys to play soccer with almost every Sunday afternoon after church. We go home, relax, and then we meet at the football field to have a game, and then that blending also happened. There were guys from the choir that were part of the football team, guys from the prayer department, the media, and so somehow someone who had come in not knowing anybody, that had connection with people in the choir, connection with people in the media, connection with people in the prayer department. And one person that really impacted my life so much, Osofo. I realized that I had something in common with him, in that this man, I've gotten to know his history, that he was once a footballer. I was also pursuing same career, but somehow he didn't go far. Likewise myself, he even went farther than I went. But I realized that if this man once was pushing to be a footballer and then he had to abandon that and he's doing the work of God, I can do same. With all these things, I've had a wonderful time here in this church. I want to talk about a brother also that I knew way back in time, Pastor Phil. I was born in 2 houses away from his father's house. I came to this house and I met this man. He had really changed, but once I saw him, I realized that no, I knew this man. So I approached him. Sir, it seems I know you somewhere. He made mention of his name. I asked, my name is Tanda, pharmacist. I said, yeah. I'm saying, anyway, my sister in Anebusa, because Pastor Phil's elder sister was a friend of my sister. So when I made mention of my sister, I said, wow, in Taunya. So I felt that brotherly love. And since then, that brother and man of God has been a wonderful person in my life. He's been a coach. He speaks into my life. He corrects me. He does a whole lot. He throws gifts at me every now and then. And I don't take it lightly at all. Besides that, I came into this house. I had my own qualities. I had my own gifts and talents. But from where I was coming from and with the experiences, I wanted to live undercover. I don't know how Daddy and his team of leaders faced me out, uncovered, and then brought me, I should say, to the front line. I was in my house one dawn. I had a call from Daddy. Mr. Bawuah, we want to try interpreting, and it is you that the Lord has fallen on. In fact, that was something I was doing at my former church, but I wanted to keep things undercover. So I wonder how this man got to know of this. Quickly, I rose from my bed, resorted to prayer. One of the questions I asked the Lord was that, what dress should I wear? And that it is not because I know, but it should make grace abound unto me, because this is also a new territory. I came and the attire that I was wearing, Daddy was wearing the same. It meant a lot to me that indeed the Lord speaks, He directs, I hear, and I follow after that. At my first interpreting assignment, I won the hearts of the people because of the way the preaching was going and the question that he asked. He was talking about various kinds of drinks, Guinness, beer, and then he asked me, the interpreter, what are some of the drinks that they drink? I told him, I mean, you can't say that I don't know. I know, but he wanted to catch me off guard, but I rather caught him off guard. So we had that bonding. It continued fast track. It was about the time the church was celebrating her 5th anniversary. Grace to Grace. That was when we came in. And after a couple of weeks of interpreting, Daddy fell on me and told me that, boy, we want you to MC this program. It was also a huge challenge because, again, it was something I was practicing elsewhere. And coming in without him knowing anything about me, he caused me to also undertake this assignment. I gave it a shot, and also during that program, at my first comment, I won the hearts of the people. It meant a lot to me. Maybe I should share what I said, and I won the hearts of the people. He had finished with a sermon, and we're going to go for some lunch, drinks and chops. And the MC, I'm on the stage and it's like, I told, this is how I announced my presence. There's a football club in Western region, Takoradi to be precise. You know, all Anglophone, English-speaking countries, when they play soccer and they score a goal, all you hear is goal. But here in Takoradi, Western region, there is a football club that scores a goal and you don't hear goal. What you hear is do. Once I said do, the entire congregation, those who are followers of soccer and knew of Second Year Azakes, all responded heavy. There, Daddy stood from his seat, left the auditorium and went out. After a while, I went out and said, the guy has taken over. We are set cry. So by that also, I won the admiration of the people. And he called me in the presence of his deputy, Reverend Agri, and told him that we have an MC for the church. We are raising this man as an MC for the church. Straight up, I felt the responsibilities that were coming my way. And it demanded that I would also sit up, do my homework well, read wide, read more of the Word of God, get to know of His principles and His values and dance to His tune. I was called to be part of the building committee. That also brought about a different experience with Daddy and some other team members, which I cherish so very much. All in all, my being in this church has been very helpful. I should say that I either came in empty or half full, but the Lord is topping me up. I am making strides now. If I think of certain decisions that I wanted to make, and by the teachings and counseling of great men of this house, that led me to rather change my decisions and then give myself time. I'm grateful. This place has been a very good place for me and my household, my wife and my children. We thank God for various leaders. Thank God for the Bible school Spurgeon that I happen to be one of the pioneering members. Thank God for great teachers that the Lord used to bless my life. I'm grateful to God that at one of the semesters, the first award that was given by Bishop Jani of Assemblies of God, Efikuma, I won it. I feel proud about that. And I made the grades also. I happened to be even the class captain. At a point in time, I also had to, after our graduation, I had to present my message. And it was another awesome moment. I know my make, I know who I am, I know my qualities. And I know that a lot is expected of me. I've had occasions when people will tell me that, brother, you make church what it is. We come sometimes down, but once we hear from you, we become so relieved and happy. We still want to come to church the following week. And get this, the day Daddy called me and said that I will interpret, it has been prayers through. One of the days the Lord ministered to me in the light of His word that says that once has the Lord spoken, twice have I heard that all power belongs to God. In that word of the Lord, it is explained to me by the Spirit of God that my servant speaks once, but you are his second voice twice. So I stand before the people of God to interpret, but there's this spiritual understanding attached to my service in the house as an interpreter. I always look up to that. And anytime, any day when I have to interpret, I pray a simple prayer. Lord, it is not because I know. It is not because man not so fancy, but because you give grace. I've come this far by the grace of God. I'm humbled. I love this place. I've been corrected countless occasions. I've been rebuked. I've been corrected. I mean, it's been an awesome moment. All in all, this is a place to be. And as we are celebrating our anniversary, I want to say God bless Reverend Asamoah, for in his obedience, we have come to also obey. In his obedience, the center is beginning to hold for us. In his obedience, we are seeing our lives realigned, and we are grateful to him and his entire family. I thank God for the other ministers, and I thank God for the Love Sanctuary Sports Club, the football team. I thank God for everyone. I also want to say that as human as I am, maybe a comment I made, an act I put up, something I did didn't go well. Human as I am, I ask for forgiveness, and I pray that I'm very open Let's get together, carry on with this vision, and see it go places and higher heights. Grateful. Thank you.